And hello and welcome to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City for this non-conference matchup between the visiting Sioux Falls Christian Chargers and the host Unity Christian Knights. I am Jordan DeSmit and I will be giving you the call here for this one on Fuller Digital Solutions. And before I get into some information about the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers as a team, I'll talk a little bit about the Sioux Falls Christian Athletics in general. The smallest class in basketball in South Dakota is Class B, then it goes to Class A, then Class AA. Sioux Falls Christian competes in Region 3 of Class A, and overall their sports are extremely successful. For example, they have won 3 straight boys soccer titles. They have had some sort of cross-country title each of the last 4 years and a track championship each of the last 2 years. In fact, they won a combined boys and girls state title in both track and cross-country in 2022. But their best sport by far is volleyball. They have 12 total volleyball championships in 6 straight starting in 27, then of course just this past fall. But for basketball, their boys have won 2 titles, with their most recent being in 2021, but their girls have yet to win one, and head coach Dan DeYoung looks to lead them to that first ever championship. And DeYoung is in his second year as head coach after being the West Lyon boys head coach, and they come into this one 3-1 overall, and they actually have not played a team within the region quite yet. I think the weather lately, and I think a lot of postponements probably had something to do with that. But their wins include the likes of Western Christian, Lennox, and Elk Point Jefferson. However, tonight they are coming off a loss to Wagner, South Dakota. They lost 62-29 back on December 29th, and it will not be any easier for them in this game as they play one of the best teams that the state of Iowa has to offer. However, this is an extremely talented Sioux Falls Christian team that placed 7th at the state tournament last season, and a couple players that we will hear from quite often include seniors Mariah Harrison and Ellie Lems. Harrison is a Mount Marty commit for basketball, and Lems will take her talents to Dordt for basketball. And Lems was an all-tourney selection last year at the state tournament and was a finalist for their class volleyball player of the year. So we have some good athletes on the floor tonight for the Chargers, and it will be interesting to see how the Knights match up with them. And I'll talk a little bit about the Knights. They, of course, are led by head coach Jay Scheidemann, and they are currently ranked number 3 in Class 3A as of January 5th. And they come into this one 6-1 overall and 4-0 in the War Eagle Conference. That one loss, a non-conference loss to Spirit Lake in a really close battle. And they're coming off a commanding 69-51 win over Class 1A number 4 ranked Remsen St. Mary's just last night. Coach Scheidemann might have been worried about rest after not playing since their dominating 81-41 win over Hartley Melvin Sanborn. That was all the way back on December 20th. But the Knights came to play and took care of business last night. And it was a tight contest going into halftime. The Knights led 32-26 at the break, but they outscored Remsen St. Mary's 21-10 in the third, which allowed them to pull away and grab a huge conference win on the road. And they are going to need that momentum as they face, like I said, a really talented Sioux Falls Christian team here this afternoon. So it will be interesting to see how the Knights rise up to the challenge that they will face here tonight in one of the more talented teams from the state of South Dakota. And with that, I'll take a little bit of a break. We're just under 5 minutes before tip-off, and I'll be back and talk for a few more minutes, and then we'll be pretty close to tip-off of this one. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
I chose the NCC CNA course because I just really liked the instructors and the entire NCC community, how welcoming everybody is, and I was able to take it in high school and get it done before I started college.
The new facility here at NCC has been great. You've got every tool you can think of. You're never struggling to find something. Just the facility as a whole has been awesome. It makes the learning a lot more interesting and a lot more hands-on, and it's just been great.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. About 2 minutes until tip-off, and I'll just talk a little bit about both teams. And I really think on paper, this should be a pretty even matchup. Two well-coached teams, two really talented teams that have really talented multi-sport athletes on the floor. And height-wise, they match up pretty well. The tallest players for Unity are Gracie Skonoven and Tyra Skeideman. Skonoven's 5'11", and then Skeideman is 6 feet tall. And Sioux Falls Christian has some height as well. Sophomore Maya Van Dong is 6 feet tall. Ellie Limbs, I mentioned her earlier. She's an all-state volleyball player and a Dork commit for basketball. She stands at 6 feet tall as well. And Peyton Popma stands at 5'10". And yeah, just a lot of height we'll see here on the floor in what, like I said, should be a battle here this afternoon in this non-conference matchup. And both teams definitely look to use this opportunity to honestly just get better as a team and improve as they both get into either their conference or region play and as they look toward a playoff push later in the season. So about a minute till tip-off. We'll take another quick break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School as they do starting lineups as we speak. And I think I'll actually go ahead and take another quick break as they get going on this stuff. So you're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
Customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the quality local services that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bring customers like you reliable and unlimited internet, up to 50 megabits across 22 counties. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
I chose the NCC CNA course because I just really liked the instructors and the entire NCC community, how welcoming everybody is, and I was able to take it in high school and get it done before I started college.
The new facility here at NCC has been great. You've got every tool you can think of. You're never struggling to find something. Just the facility as a whole has been awesome. It makes the learning a lot more interesting and a lot more hands-on, and it's just been great.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. About set for tip-off. I'll try to quickly go through our starters. First for Sioux Falls Christian, we'll see number 0, a senior, Mariah Harrison. Number 3, a senior, Peyton Popema. Number 5, a junior, Jackson Swift. And at number 10, a senior, Ellie Lems. And number 20, a sophomore, Maya Nelson. And for Unity Christian, we'll see number 2, a senior, Cassidy Deckers. Number 4, a senior, Caitlin Zevenbergen. Number 11, a senior, Gracie Skonoven. Number 20, a junior, Tyra Scheidemann. And number 44, a sophomore, Courtney Hoffmeyer. And it'll be Scheidemann and Lems at half court for the tip-off. And it's won by Unity Christian after a fight for it for the ball. Here's Cassidy Deckers going straight to the rim. That's no good. Rebound, Unity Christian. That's no good. And a fight for the rebound on the floor now, and Skonoven gets it. Here's Skonoven. Kicks it back out. This is Deckers for 3. That's good. Cassidy Deckers gets the scoring going for Unity Christian. And it is 3-0 right away. And here come the Chargers. And this is Popma over. And that was Mariah Harrison, and they're going to call a travel on Mariah Harrison. So an early turnover here for the Chargers, and the Knights will take over. Gets it into Zevenbergen. Here's Skydeman, a little forecourt press from the Chargers, and they take it away. This is Lems, kicks it over to Harrison, who gets a layup to go. And Mariah Harrison gets her first points of the night. It's 3-2. Here's Deckers, drives to the rim. Kicks it back out to Skonoven, drives baseline, and looks like she's fouled by Harrison. And Harrison picks up her first. And Skonoven to inbound. Gets it in to Hoffmeyer. Her layup is no good. And Skonoven gets the rebound, kicks it back out to Skydeman. Her three, no good. And a rebound, Sioux Falls Christian going the other way. This is Ellie Lems being guarded very well by Skonoven. That's tipped out of bounds. And Sioux Falls Christian will take possession here. Jackson Swift will inbound. Gets it into Maya Nelson. Nelson dribbles around the perimeter. Again, good defense. This is Peyton Popema and tries to get it in the paint to Harrison. She gets a hold of it, but her layup no good and off the hands of Skonoven. And it will remain Charger basketball. And Nelson will inbound. Still early in this one. Unity Christian leads 3-2. Gets it into Ellie Lems, and good defense by the Knights. And looked like they're going to say that I was tipped off of the Knights. And the Chargers will take possession once again. This is Peyton Popema over to Harrison. And this is Nelson in the corner. Tries to get in the paint to Lems. Back out to Nelson. Her three left wing. That's good. Maya Nelson gets the Chargers the lead. It's 5-3. This is Cassidy Deckers for the Knights. Back out to Skonoven. Hands it off to Skydeman. Kicks it out to Zevenberg and pump fakes. Drives baseline. Back out to Skydeman. And they're going to call a foul on, excuse me, not a foul, a travel on Tyra Skydeman. So the Knights turn the ball over. And the Chargers with a little momentum, we'll see what they can do here. Here's Harrison, the Mount Marty commit, back out to, this is Peyton Popema. Here's Jackson Swift, back out to Harrison. Tries to get in the paint, and it's taken away by Courtney Hoffmeyer. And here's Gracie Skonoven. Tries to drive the paint back out. And this is a three that's no good from Zevenberg, and out of bounds, out on the Chargers. And Skonoven will go ahead and inbound. And gets it into, that is Zevenberg in the corner. Hands it off to Skonoven. Back out to Skydeman right wing. Gets it into Courtney Hoffmeyer. Guarded well, back out to Skonoven. And almost gets it taken away to Skonoven. Gets the ball back, and looks like she was fouled, dribbling there by the Sioux Falls Christian bench. And they are going to get Jackson Swift. That's her first, team second. Zevenberg into inbound. Gets it into Skydeman. Back out to Deckers. Deckers will try to drive near the free throw line. Back out to Hoffmeyer. Here's Zevenberg in the corner. Pump fake, drives baseline. And ball taken away by the Chargers. And this is Jackson Swift with it. Here's Maya Nelson. Over to Mariah Harrison. In the paint, taken away by Skonoven. Through the hands of Peyton Popema. Deckers. Over to Zevenbergen in the corner. Tyra Skydeman working on, that's Popema. And her little floater's up and a good little move by Tyra Skydeman as she gets on the board and ties it up here at 5, 4:23 remaining first quarter. Ryan Nelson over to Popema. This is Nelson. In the paint to Lems. Her layup attempt no good. Rebound Sioux Falls Christian. Here's Nelson, almost taken away by Decker. She'll take a three. That's no good. Rebound. Cassidy Deckers coming the other way. Deckers will try to drive near baseline. nowhere to go. Again, good defense, and dribbles out of bounds. That was great defense that time by Jackson Swift. As a couple subs come in the game for the Chargers. Looks like they bring in Brenna Bikey, as well as, if I can see the number. So they brought in Katie Vanderleest as well. This is Zevenbergen. Over to Scheidemann. Back over to Skonoven. She's yet to get on the board tonight, this afternoon, I should say. Ball tip taken by Scheidemann. Her shot is no good. And cross court up to Bikey. Her layup is up and good. And they retake the lead. Brenna Bikey, the senior guard, gets on the board. And good defense by Sioux Falls Christian. Here is Popema. She's fouled. Full court press, giving the Knights a little bit of trouble here, as it looks like Peyton Popema will go to the line for 2, and they will charge Zevenbergen with her first foul, her team's first, as the Chargers look to extend their lead here. First free throw up and good. 8-5 the Charger lead, as Jaden Hoffmeyer subs in for Courtney Hoffmeyer. Second free throw from Popema is up and good. Peyton Popema, the second-team All-State volleyball selection, making her presence known so far as they try to get the ball into Deckers in the corner. Here's Skonoven. She'll take a 3 from the left wing, no good. And rebound Deckers, and her putback is up and good. So Deckers has 5 early in this one. It's 9-7. Here's Katie Vanderleest, and she loses control, and it's out on her, and it'll be Unity Christian basketball. This game is definitely what I've expected it to be so far. Exciting matchup between two really good teams, and still some good full court press, as it looks like Unity Christian wants a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You are watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future.
Welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Exciting one so far in the first quarter, with Sioux Falls Christian leading the Knights 9-7, and Tyra Scheidemann to inbound. Gets it into Gracie Skonoven. Over to Jaden Hoffmeyer, and she throws it over her head and out of bounds. And the Knights will turn it over. So an errant pass by Skonoven gives the Chargers the ball. And Vanderleest gets it into Maya Nelson. Over to Ellie Lems, All-State's volleyball player. Kicks it back out to Vanderleest. Over to, this is Brenna Bikey. And she's trapped in the corner. Here's Nelson, left wing. Back over to Nelson near the top of the key. She'll try to drive, kick it back out to Vanderleest. Back over to, I believe this is Bike in the corner. Pump fake, she's blocked from behind, and they're going to call a foul on Jaden Hoffmeyer. And that's Hoffmeyer's first. And Bikey, the senior guard, will go to the line for 2. Her first free throw attempt is up and good. It's 10-7. And Brenna Bikey, the senior guard, she is actually also a track runner. She runs a 4x1. Second free throw is good. It's 11-7, Sioux Falls Christian. Here's Skonoven. Cross court to Hoffmeyer. It's almost taken away by Maya Nelson. Great effort but it tips out of bounds, and Unity Christian will inbound. Seeing a lot of energy out of the Sioux Falls Christian team, and that's tough after the loss they had before their Christmas break. Here's Skonoven. Kicks it cross court to Zevenbergen. This is Hoffmeyer, gets it into Skonoven, and it looks like she was fouled. That'll be Sioux Falls Christian's third team foul. And it looks like they got Vanderleest on that foul. Here's Scheidemann. Back out to Skonoven, and they're going to call a foul on Tyra Scheidemann. Excuse me, not a foul, excuse me, she traveled. And Sioux Falls Christian will take over. Here's Harrison. Over to Maya Nelson. She'll try to drive in the paint, and her contested shot is no good, but rebound Sioux Falls Christian. And officials call timeout. Maybe a problem with the clock, I'm not for sure here. Yes, it was a problem with the clock. Looks like they didn't reset the shot clock. So Sioux Falls Christian will get a fresh 35, and they will inbound. Vanderleest will inbound. Gets it into Nelson. Nelson dribbling around the perimeter, kicks it back out. This is Lems. And here's Nelson for three, no good. And a much-needed stop there for Unity Christian. Cross court over to Deckers, and it's off her hands and out of bounds. And another turnover by the Knights, and Sioux Falls Christian will take over. And Nelson will bring it back up the court. In the corner, this is Papama, and they're going to call a foul. Excuse me, not a foul, they're going to call a traveling on Peyton Papama. So Sioux Falls Christian turns it over. Scheidemann gets it in to Deckers. Back to Scheidemann. Full court press once again. Here's Jaden Hoffmeyer. Hands it off to Gracie Skonoven left wing. She'll drive near the paint, and she actually take that back there. You're going to call a foul on Unity Christian. Looks like they got Courtney Hoffmeyer in the paint there. So Maya Nelson will bring it up the court. It's over to Papama in the corner. Her three, no good. And rebound, Cassidy Deckers, under 1 to go here, first quarter. And she loses control, and it looks like it was out of bounds on Mariah Harrison, but great defense by Harrison. I mentioned earlier the Mount Marty commit. Skonoven to inbound, gets it into Deckers. Deckers crossover dribble. Almost taken away. Over to Jaden Hoffmeyer near right wing. Here's Skonoven. Skonoven tries to drive, spins, and her floater's up no good, too short. And a rebound, Sioux Falls Christian, as Skonoven's been held scoreless so far in this first quarter. This is Katie Vanderleest, under 20 to go. Avery Wright gets it over to, this is Jackson Swift, and she hands it off to Vanderleest. Vanderleest over to Papama, back to Nelson. Here's Vanderleest again, 4 to go. Her three's good. And Katie Vanderleest gets a 3 before the first quarter expires. It's 14-7. Sioux Falls Christian leads. We'll get you the second period after this. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration has always operated under strong values aimed at exceeding client needs. The relationship with their clients begins on the first day of contact and only ends once you are fully satisfied with the work. When you hire Notaboom Electric, you can count on them for the results you want and need. They offer a number of services for residential and commercial facilities to schools and churches. Discover the advantage of working with Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration in Orange City today. Wishing good luck to the Knights.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. And the Knights have looked a little bit rusty here this afternoon so far, as they find themselves down 14-7 again to a really talented Sioux Falls Christian team. But turnovers have really been what's cost them. A couple traveling calls, a couple passes thrown out of bounds, not really in foul trouble at all. But we'll see how they respond here in the second period. Sioux Falls Christian will have possession. Here's Katie Vanderleest, who just hit the three as time expired on the first period. Hands it off to Peyton Popma, back over to Ellie Lems. Back out. This is Vanderleest again. She'll shoot another three. Why not? In and out, no good. And rebound Gracie Skonoven. Trying to drive in the paint, kicks it back out to Skeideman. Her three from the right wing, that's good. Tyra Skeideman, much needed three for the Knights. She has 5 here early. It's 14-10. Here's Popma near right wing. Hands it off to Nelson. She'll get it over to Swift. Swift gets it over to Vanderleest. In the corner to Popma. In the paint to Lems, guarded well. Back out to Vanderleest. Pump fake. And the Unity fans wanted to travel or double dribble. They're going to call a double dribble. As Zevenbergen got it into Skonoven. Here's Skeideman. Finally get it past that full court press. Here's Skonoven. Back out to Skeideman. She'll shoot for three again, too short. And Sioux Falls Christian with the rebound. Here's Vanderleest. Guarded well by Hoffmeyer. Gets it off to Popma. Back to Vanderleest. Around the free throw line now. Back out to Harrison. She kicks it back out to Vanderleest. Here's Lems in the paint. Her layup's up and good, and the foul. And Ellie Lems gets on the board for the first time, and that'll be Skonoven's first. 16-10, Sioux Falls Christian. Looks like Skeideman checks out. And the free throw attempt's no good. Rebound, Courtney Hoffmeyer. And we'll see how the Knights can respond here. Here's Cassie Deckers dribbling it across the court. Tries to get it back out to Jaden Hoffmeyer, and it's out on Hoffmeyer. Well contested by Peyton Popma of the Chargers. And the Chargers will take over. Maya Nelson over to Bikey. Popma in the paint, taken away by Skonoven, and she'll bring it back the other way. And dribbles in the paint, and she falls to the floor, and it looks like they're going to call a foul on Sioux Falls Christian. And it looks like they got Maya Nelson on that foul. In the paint to Hoffmeyer, her floater's no good. Sioux Falls Christian coming back the other way. This is Lems in the corner to Bikey. She dribbles baseline, guarded well by Skonoven, and it looks like she stepped out of bounds. It will be Unity Christian basketball. Skonoven out on the board yet, but she's playing fantastic defense so far as she throws it away. Here's Lems, her shot almost blocked, but it's up and good. 18-10, Sioux Falls Christian leads. Here's Deckers. Pesky defense by the Chargers, and Coach Skeideman wants another timeout. We'll take another timeout with them. You are watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
When each new day begins, we're here. When you want new technology that's tested and proven, we're here. When you need a sounding board or just a good story, we're here. For an ally whose local roots run as deep as yours, or to make next year the best year yet, we'll be where we've been all along, with you from the word go.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. And right before this game, we had the freshman and JV girls games, and after this one, we'll have the freshman and JV boys games, and then the boys varsity game as a nightcap. But here's the girls varsity game. Here's Jaden Hoffmeyer, kicks it back out to Skonoven. Skonoven double teamed, and she almost throws it away as Skeideman saves it. This is Deckers, back out to Skeideman, pump fakes, dribbles baseline. And it looks like she stepped out. Yes, she did. It'll be Sioux Falls Christian basketball. This game's really been dominated by Sioux Falls Christian's defense. The Knights having trouble with that full court press, and you can tell they're coached well. On the other end of the court, this is Maya Nelson. Over to Swift, back to Nelson. She'll stop, get in the paint to Lems, and she's fouled, and her shot is good. And a great start for Sioux Falls Christian as they lead 20-10, pending the free throw as Lems is up to 6 points. Free throws up and good. It's 21-10. Sioux Falls Christian leaves, make that 7 points for Lems. Here's Skonoven. Trying to chip away at the Sioux Falls Christian lead. Gets it into Jaden Hoffmeyer. Her layup is up and good. Just what the Knights needed, and it's 21-12. Maya Nelson again, and that's batted away by Hoffmeyer. And it goes out of bounds. It will remain Sioux Falls Christian basketball. Nelson to inbound, gets it into Jackson Swift. Pump fakes, drives the lane. Her layup is no good. A little too much on that as it looked like Skonoven was fouled as she got the rebound. And they got Ellie Lems with that. That's her first. Skeideman inbounds to Skonoven. Gets it into Skeideman, and that is Zevenbergen taking it away. Here's Hoffmeyer. Drives near the free throw line, back out to Skonoven. Kicks it back out to Skeideman. Her jumper, good. Tyra Skeideman makes it 21-14. She's got 7. And it's 7-point lead for Sioux Falls Christian. Here's Nelson. Her jumper, no good. Rebound, Unity Christian. And it looks like Jaden Hoffmeyer fouled. And they're going to get Mariah Harrison on that foul. That's her second. And Sioux Falls Christian 6th. And Skeideman to inbound. Into Skonoven. Drive up the court. And it looks like she's fouled on her way up. And they're going to get Brenna Bikey on that. So in the bonus situation, that's the Chargers' 7th foul, as Skonoven will shoot a 1-and-1 here. First free throw, too long, no good, and Skonoven still without a point here this afternoon. Nelson over. This is Vanderleest in the paint to Lems. Her layup up and good. Lems with 9. It's a 9-point lead. And that's taken away by the Chargers on the inbound. Back out to Popema. In the corner to Vanderleest. Back out to Popema for 3. Her 3 is good. It's a 12-point lead for the Chargers, as Popema has 5. Here's Skonoven. 19 and answer. She'll shoot for 3. Left it too long. Rebound. That's Jaylee Wouchner checking in. Here's Scheidemann for 3. Too long. No good. Rebound. And the layup is up and no good by Hoffmeyer, but she'll go to the line for 2 as she was fouled on the way up. And they got Maya Nelson on that foul. First free throw, too long. Couple substitutions in the game for the Chargers. Looks like Avery Wright's in the game. Well, it looks like Jackson Swift is back. Second free throw, no good. Rebound, Skonova, but they're going to call it off. And they're going to give Jaden Hoffmeyer another crack at her free throw. Looks like they were a little early getting in the lane there. Here's a free throw from Hoffmeyer, up and good. 26-15, Sioux Falls Christian leads. Vanderleest over to Popema, right wing. Back over to Wright. She'll get it in the paint to Lems, working on Skonoven. Back out. That's Wright again, and she is called for a travel. Scheidemann to inbound, looking again to chip away at what is now an 11-point Sioux Falls Christian lead. Scheidemann cross court to Hoffmeyer, and that's taken away by Swift. Tried to get in the paint to Woudstra. Swift gets it into Vanderleest, in the paint to, that's Popema. She's blocked from behind. Fight for it, and they're going to call a jump ball possession arrow for Unity Christian. So they'll take possession. Gets it into Skonoven. Over to Jaden Hoffmeyer, and it's almost taken away, but they're going to call it out of bounds on Sioux Falls Christian. Coach Dan DeYoung for the Chargers couldn't believe it. Skonoven will inbound. Into Scheidemann. Here's Woudstra. Over to Zevenberg, and her 3 from the right wing, no good. Rebound by Woudstra, and she's fouled. And they're going to get Avery Wright on that one. That's her first. And it's a 1-and-1 here for Woudstra. Take that back. She's there for 2. Her first free throw's up and good. Thought I saw the referee signal for a 1-and-1. 26-16 as Woudstra gets on the board. Second free throw for Woudstra is good. It's 26-17. It's a 9-point deficit for the Knights. Here's Vanderleest, gets it into Swift. Guarded well by Woudstra, in the paint to Popema. She gets it off to Lems for contested shot, no good, and a fight for it, and they're going to call a jump ball possession arrow to Sioux Falls Christian. So Brenna Bikey checks in, and Avery Wright checks out for Sioux Falls Christian. And they get it in to Bikey. Cross court over to Lems, and they're going to call a travel on Ellie Lems. Another turnover. We've seen a lot of traveling calls so far in this first half. Maybe some rust from the layover from Christmas and New Year's. But here's Skonoven, good spin move as looked like she was blocked from behind. Thought it was close to a foul, but Unity Christian will keep possession. Here's Scheidemann in the paint to Skonoven. She can't get her layup to go, and it's taken by Bikey. Gets it in the paint to Popema. She's fouled. Layup no good, but she'll go to the line for 2. Popema, the senior, Already has 5 tonight. Mentioned earlier, she was a second-team All-State volleyball selection on that Sioux Falls Christian volleyball state title team, as her first layup is good. 10-point deficit here for the Knights. 1:34 remaining here, first half. Second free throw is off the mark. Rebound Unity Christian. Here comes Gracie Skonoven, crossover dribble, back out to Woudstra, kicks it over to Scheidemann. Here's Devenbergen, pump fakes, drives baseline, gets it back out to Skonoven. Skonoven double team in the paint to Scheidemann, and a good feed in to Courtney Hoffmeyer for 2. It's an 8-point deficit. Approaching a minute to go until halftime. And fight for it on the floor, and it's just kind of thrown out there for Woucher as she takes it. She's double teamed, looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Skonoven. 55 seconds left to go. She'll take it up the court. And tries to do it all herself, as it looks like it's going to be a charge called on Skonoven. And that'll be Skonoven's second. So she started to get in a bit of foul trouble here. Nothing to panic yet. And Sioux Falls Christian's game plans looks like it's working to perfection. Looks like they've really tried to frustrate Skonoven, and they've done that here so far. See what the Chargers can do. Loose ball. It's taken back by Lems. She gets it over to Nelson, right wing. And here is Nelson for 3, right wing. That's no good. And rebound Scheidemann. Stevenbergen into Woudstra. Her 3, no good, off the mark. Taken by Skonoven, under 15 to go. She'll try to get on the board here. Her layup, her little floater's no good, but she will go to the line for 2. First free throw for Skonoven's good. She gets her first points of the afternoon. It's 27-20. And a second free throw on the way, and she gets it to go. 10 seconds left before halftime. And it's 27-21. Sioux Falls Christian. As Ellie Lems tries to drive cross court, defended well, fight for it, and they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow to Unity Christian. They'll take possession. We'll see what they can do. 4.3 to go. They're going to check Skonoven back in. They're going to take Jaden Hoffmeyer out for one last ditch attempt at points before halftime. Scheidemann to inbound. Gets it into Zevenbergen. Over to Skonoven, and good spin move, and she just can't quite get it to go. And that will be our halftime score, as the Knights find themselves down in this one, 27-21. We'll take a break, and I'll give you a bit of a halftime recap of the first half. You are watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Probably the biggest thing that we do a little bit different than a lot of schools is the live work side of the world. So when we teach our students, we actually, if you look around the shop and see what they're working on, in most cases it's a customer car, and so they get real world application.
Our engineering design program is basically drawing components, manufacturing of the components, and then we get into the inspection of the components. So they got to create it, make it, and inspect it just as they would in industry.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking toward your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School as the Knights find themselves down 27-21 here at halftime. And they've kind of had to claw their way back. They've been down by double digits multiple times, but still find themselves at just a 6-point deficit as we are at intermission here in this one. And it's really just kind of a tale of turnovers here for the Knights. A couple travel calls, like I said, a couple of errant passes out of bounds. They've played better here as the game's gone along, especially toward the end of the second quarter. And I think we might be gearing up for another exciting finish. And we actually saw some comeback victories in both the freshman and the JV games earlier this morning. And we might see another one here this afternoon. Give you a few stats here. Again, these aren't quite official, but according to my numbers, I'll start with Sioux Falls Christian. Looks like Mariah Harrison has 2, Brenna Bikey has 4, Peyton Popama has 6, Katie Vanderleest has 3. She hit 1 3. Ellie Lems leads the way for the Knights for the Chargers with 9, and Maya Nelson is also on the board with 3 points so far. And for the Knights, Cassidy Deckers has 5. Jaden Hoffmeyer has 1. Skonoven held to 2 so far, and those are 2 free throws. She hasn't gotten a field goal to go yet. I think she'll heat up here in the second half. Like I said, I think Sioux Falls Christian's game plan is really centered around Skonoven. I've seen a lot of double teams given her way. They've had a lot of full court press to start this game as well. It's kind of frustrated the Knight offense. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make at halftime to try to get Skonoven free to get a few points here. Scheideman's kind of picked up that slack. She's got 7. She's hit a couple of huge threes and kept the Knights in this one. Jaylee Woucher has 2, and according to my stats, Courtney Hoffmeyer has 4 so far here tonight. Again, those stats aren't quite official, but that are the numbers that I have so far. So, like I said, it should be an exciting finish between 2 really good basketball teams, one from the state of Iowa and one from the state of South Dakota. And I will take a little bit more of a break and be back with a little more halftime recap. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. And one more score to talk about. It looks like the Northwestern women are leading Hastings 57-52. That's going on as we speak. And only 21 seconds left to go. So I'll try to give you an update as I find that final score. And of course, the Northwestern men will follow that game, as they will take on Hastings as well. I believe that game obviously will start after the women's game, but I believe set for 3:45. And Northwestern women off to a good start, 11-3 overall, 6-2 in the conference. We'll see if they can make a deep run in their national tournament. We're worried about our high school game we got going on here. And I mentioned earlier the freshman game and the JV girls games were going on before this one in the afternoon. I believe the Sioux Falls Christian freshman won, and then the Unity Christian JV won. And two come from behind victories actually in both of those games. So we might hopefully continue that trend here with the varsity game. And then after this one, I'm going to end this live stream. There will be another live stream started for the freshman boys basketball game. Then the JV game will follow that one, and then I will be back at around 6 o'clock. We'll see when this game ends for the boys varsity game against a couple talented teams there as well. And the Knights find themselves down 27-21. And like I said, I'm interested to see what kind of adjustments Jay Scheidemann made at halftime to try to tackle this pesky Sioux Falls Christian full court press and the double teams that Gracie Schoenhoven has faced here. We'll see if they can get her loose and get her going here in the second half. We got about a minute to go here before the third period. I'll take another quick break and be back for the start of the second half. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration has always operated under strong values aimed at exceeding client needs. The relationship with their clients begins on the first day of contact and only ends once you are fully satisfied with the work. When you hire Notaboom Electric, you can count on them for the results you want and need. They offer a number of services for residential and commercial facilities to schools and churches. Discover the advantage of working with Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration in Orange City today. Wishing good luck to the Knights.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Northwestern women find themselves up 58-53, about 5 seconds left to go. So I think unless something absolutely crazy happens, they should have that one wrapped up as we're about to start the third quarter of this one between this cross-state battle between Unity Christian and Sioux Falls Christian. And again, a battle of two of the teams that are two of the best that each of their states have to offer, and I'm excited to get this second half going. And obviously a full day of basketball here in Orange City. And we will continue it here in the third period as Mariah Nelson will inbound for Sioux Falls Christian. And a huge defensive possession here for the Knights. We'll see if they can get a huge stop here and get some points on the other side. Here's Maya Nelson. Hands it off to Harrison. She gets it over, and this is Lems in the paint for an easy layup, and it's an 8-point lead. And some fumbling around with the basketball, and Unity Christian finally gets a hold of it, but it looks like Deckers is fouled before she just about gave that basketball away. So it looks like they got Mariah Harrison on that one. That's her third already. So we'll see how Dan DeYoung wants to play that. Here's Zevenbergen. Gets it into Skonova, and her floater's up in good. And let's hope she gets going here in the second half. It's back to a 6-point, and Unity Christian will take over. This is Skeideman. Cross court over to Deckers. Back over to Courtney Hoffmeyer. She'll kick it back out to Skonova, and pump fakes, gets it back out to Skeideman. She'll kick it back out to Skonova near left wing. Back out to Zevenberg, and here's Skeideman again. She'll try to dribble in the paint. Her layup is no good. Rattles in and out. Rebound, and that's taken by Skeideman, and she gets it to go. It's a 4-point deficit. And a little more energy here for the Knights in the second half. And it looks like they might get a foul in the paint as Zevenbergen fell to the floor. And they're going to get, looks like Zevenbergen on that foul. That's her third. And it looks like Jaden Hoffmeyer will check in for her. Nelson to inbound. Gets it into Swift. Back over to Lems. This is Nelson again near left wing. And drives baseline, gets it to go. And a great job by Maya Nelson to get that to go. And a steal that time by the Chargers in their full court press. This is Popema. Gets it over to, that's Lems. Back to Lems. She'll take a three. That's no good. And it goes back behind the backboard and out of bounds. 31-25, a 6-point lead here for the Chargers. Here's Skonoven, gets it into Skeideman. Back over to Hoffmeyer. They got numbers, but it's taken and tipped out of bounds by Lems. It'll remain Unity Christian ball. Skonoven to inbound. Gets it into Skeideman. In the paint to Skonoven, almost loses control, gets it back. Her little floater's no good. Taken again by Skonoven, gets her own rebound, and that's taken away by Jackson Swift. And Popham will try to drive in the paint. Her desperation layup no good, and defended well. Fight for it on the floor. They're going to call a jump ball, possession arrow to Unity. And I understand now that it looks like our camera timed out. I'll try to get that problem fixed for you. But I'll still give you some commentary. This is Deckers over to Skeideman. Excuse me, that's Skonoven. And Hoffmeyer's jumper no good. And Sioux Falls Christian with it. Here's Maya Nelson. She'll try to drive, and Skonoven takes a charge. 31-25. And Sioux Falls Christian will, Unity Christian will take possession. Looks like Brenna Beike checks in for the Chargers. Skeideman gets it into Deckers. Here's Skonoven, almost fouled as she gets it back up the court. Here's Jaden Hoffmeyer, and her bounce pass gets over the head of Courtney Hoffmeyer, and it goes out of bounds. And Sioux Falls Christian will take possession. And again, if you're just tuning in, I'm sorry about the camera going out. I try to get that fixed as soon as I can here for you. I'll try to get you some commentary on the game. Here's Brenna Beike. Gets it over to Maya Nelson, left wing. And this is Vanderleest, gets it back out. And Popham will try to drive, and she's fouled on her way up, and she will go to the line for Sioux. So Peyton Popham at the line. It looks like they got Courtney Hoffmeyer on that foul. That's her second. And Popham's first free throw is good. And she has 7. Jaylee Woucher checks in for Courtney Hoffmeyer. And the second free throw. And I believe I got the camera back up. 33-25, Sioux Falls Christian leads. Here's Vanderleest. Drives in the paint, tries to kick it in, and that's taken away by Unity Christian. Here's Gracie Skonoven dribbling back the other way. And no shot. They're going to call a foul on the floor. And it looks like they got Vanderleest on that foul. Gets it into Jaden Hoffmeyer. Jumper no good. Rebound taken by Peyton Popham. And she was fouled as well. And they got Skydeman on that. That's her second. .422 remaining third period. Sioux Falls Christian leads 33-25. Knights need to stop here. This is Vanderleest, the sophomore guard. Gets it over to Jackson Swift near right wing. Gets it back to Bikey in the corner. Tries to get it in the paint to Popham, working on Hoffmeyer. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rattles in and out. And a stop the Knights desperately needed. Here's Hoffmeyer. And that's taken away by Maya Nelson. Bumps into Gracie Skonoven. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Skonoven. And that is Skonoven's third. Skonoven in foul trouble here. Nelson gets it over to Harrison. Back over to Bikey. This is Nelson again. Tries to get it in the paint. And looks like they got a foul as Nelson tried to get it into Ellie Lems. So a foul on Jaden Hoffmeyer. That's her second. Bikey gets it into Lems. Back over to Harrison. Here's Nelson near left wing. Vanderleest over to Bikey. Her three, good. And the Chargers extend their lead to 11. Here comes Skonoven the other way, kicks it into Hoffmeyer, and it looks like she stepped out. And they'll turn it over to Sioux Falls Christian. And Coach Skydeman wants a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. You are watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
I like living in the dorms at NCC because it's a short walk to class. We do get free perks on campus. We get free laundry, we get free cable, free internet, free utilities. I do feel like I'm getting the college experience at NCC.
At NCC, we have EMT classes that cover many things: trauma emergency, medical emergencies, all the way to delivering a baby. There's just many more opportunities for EMS that allow you to grow not only as a person, but in your career as well.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. It's an 11-point deficit for Unity Christian as they find themselves down 36-25. And the Sioux Falls Christian team, obviously a talented bunch, as they find themselves leading here late in this one. We'll see what the Knights can muster up here. And their game plan of doing their best to take away Skonoven has worked, at least up to this point. We'll see what the Knights can do here with 3:19 remaining here, third quarter. And Sioux Falls Christian to inbound. And Maya Nelson will take it up the court here for the Chargers. Nelson hands it off to Bikey. Over to Harrison. Gets it in the paint to Lems. Her layup can't get it to go. And rebound, Unity Christian. Over to Woustra near left wing. Gets it into Skonoven. Skonoven dribbling around the perimeter. And it looks like they're going to actually take that back. They're going to say no shot. I thought they're going to get a travel. But I believe a foul. Yes, a foul on Sioux Falls Christian. That's Maya Nelson's third. Here's Scheidemann over to Deckers. Back over to, that's Woucher just checked into the game. Back to Deckers again. And great defense as she tumbles to the floor. It looks like she was fouled though. And it looks like they got Vanderlee. So a couple of Sioux Falls Christian Chargers in foul trouble. That's her third. So still 36-25, Unity Christian basketball. Here's Woucher in the corner. Back over to Scheidemann, pump fake. Back over to Woustra. Woustra tries to get it back out to Skonoven. Gets out of her hands. Who's it out on? Out on Sioux Falls Christian as it was poked away by Jackson Swift there. Here's Deckers. 2.5 to go, third period. Skonoven right wing. And she drives near baseline. Her floater's up and good. It's a 9-point deficit. Skonoven's got 6. Peyton Popema gets it into Lems. Almost a backcourt violation as Jackson Swift saves it. Swift near right wing, back over to Lems. She'll try to drive in the paint. Good defense by Hoffmeyer. Back out to Swift. Her three, too long. And rebound at Unity Christian. See if they can cut this deficit. Back out to Woustra. Her three, no good. And a fight for the rebound. They're going to call a foul on Hoffmeyer. That's Hoffmeyer's third. Team 6th. And it looks like Sioux Falls Christian's coach Dan DeYoung wants a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You are watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future.
Welcome back to Unity Christian High School. It's a 9-point lead for Sioux Falls Christian as they lead 36-27. The Chargers with the basketball after the timeout from Dan DeYoung. As here's Vanderleest with the basketball. Kicks it over to Jackson Swift. Cross court over to Bikey. Her three from the corner, no good. Rebound, Tyra Scheidemann. Cassidy Deckers looking for somewhere to go. She tries to drive in the paint. She's fouled as she tries to do so. And they got Jackson Swift on that foul. And Sioux Falls Christian 6th. So close to getting into the bonus already for both teams. Skonoven to inbound. Gets it into Jaden Hoffmeyer. Almost falls as her shot contested, no good. And here comes Sioux Falls Christian back the other way. Crossover dribble, drive in the paint, no good. But a foul called, I believe, we're going to get Jaden Hoffmeyer. Yeah, that's Hoffmeyer's fourth, so I'm assuming she'll come out. Popham at the line for 2. Her first is up and good. Popham at 9 tonight. And make that 10. It's 38-27. Sioux Falls Christian leads. Here's Deckers. Overshoots her pass. Tried to get it into Courtney Hoffmeyer. Pass over her head and out of bounds of Sioux Falls Christian basketball. Here comes Jackson Swift, approaching a minute to go here, third period. And off the hands of Harrison, taken by Scheidemann. She'll go coast to coast, stops her dribble, and her layup is up and good. Tyra Scheidemann has 11, and it's back to a 9-point deficit. Unity Christian still hanging around here. Harrison gets it in the paint to Lems. She's fouled, but her layup not quite good. She'll go to the line for 2. Lems has 9 tonight. And it looked like, yeah, Cassidy Deckers, that's her first foul. First free throw for Lems, off the mark, no good. Elliot Lems, I mentioned earlier, all-state volleyball player. She missed her second free throw. Approaching 30 to go. Here's Deckers back out to Skodom. She'll drive baseline, and her floater up and no good. Something the Knights really needed there. Here's Jackson Swift. Kicks it over to Vanderleest. Back to Swift. Under 15 to go. Shot clock turned off. And that's up and good from Peyton Popham. She's had a good day today. She's up to 12. As Deckers, it looked like she was fouled as she tried to drive up near the Unity Christian bench. 40-29 is your score. And in the bonus situation, as Deckers will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Huge free throws here if the Knights want to stay in it. First free throw of the 1-and-1 rattles in and good. And the second gets it to go. It's 40-31. Deckers has 7 tonight. And the last second half-court heave is no good for Sioux Falls Christian. And at the end of the third period, it's a 42-31 lead for Sioux Falls Christian. We'll take another quick break. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
Welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights need to claw themselves out of a 9-point deficit here in the fourth period as they trail 40-31 against this team from Sioux Falls that came about an hour and a half and came to play here this afternoon. So Jackson Swift will inbound here for the Chargers. Gets it into Maya Nelson. Nelson in the paint. Kicks it over to Vanderleest. Her layup no good, but she's fouled. Looks like they got Deckers on that foul. That's her second. First free throw attempt for Vanderleest is good. And the second one on the way in good. It's back to an 11-point lead for the Chargers. Here's Cassidy Deckers. Guarded well again. Needs to get it across half court. Finally almost does to Skonoven. Gets it over to Zevenbergen. Here's Skonoven again, left wing. Gets it over to Skeideman as it shoots through her legs, but she gets control of it again. Here's Zevenbergen. Deckers left wing. Back cross court to Zevenbergen. Back to Skeideman. 5 left to go on the shot clock. Back to Zevenbergen. Her 3 right wing. Gets it to go. That's good. A huge 3 for Caitlin Zevenbergen. That's her first points of the game, and she does it at a great time. It's 32-24. Here's Harrison back the other way. That's too strong. Rebound, Unity Christian. And we'll see what they can do on the other end. This is Deckers near the corner. Cross court, almost shoots it over the head of Skeideman. In the paint near the free throw line. This is Skeideman again, back to Zevenbergen. Here's Skonoven near left wing. Dribbles near the elbow, gets it in to Hoffmeyer. Her jumper is good, 42-36, and just like that, the Knights are back in it. Only a 6-point deficit now. Here's Maya Nelson, right wing. Gets it over to, that was Vanderleest. Here's Nelson, back out to Swift. Her 3, too short. Rebound, Skonoven. Approaching 6 minutes left to go. We'll see what the Knights can do here. Gets it in the paint to Zevenbergen. She's fouled on her way up. And she will go to the free throw line. And it looks like they got Jackson Swift on that one. First free throw up and good from Deckers. It's 42-37. Deckers had a nice afternoon. She has 8, make that 9. It's 42-38. Approaching 6 to go. This is Harrison. Here's 3 from Nelson, no good. Rebound, fight for it. And they're going to call a foul in the fight for the rebound. And they're going to call it on Maya Nelson. Tide has turned here a little bit. I believe that's Nelson's 4th, so she checks out. And Zevenbergen will go to the line, I believe for a 1-and-1. A couple more huge free throws here. First free throw off the mark, no good. Rebound, Sioux Falls Christian. Here's Bikey, her 3 from the corner, left it too short. Fight for the rebound, taken by Zevenbergen. Here's Woucher back the other way. Here's Hoffmeyer. Back out to Skonoven. Cross court to Woucher. To Zevenbergen, back over to Deckers, back to Zevenbergen. She'll get it over to Woucher. She'll take a 3, no good. And rebound Hoffmeyer, back out to Deckers. There's Woucher again, back over to Zevenbergen. Here's Skonoven. Gets it in the paint to Hoffmeyer. Her layup, no good, just off the mark. Good offensive possession there from Unity, as it looks like Sioux Falls Christian wants a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You are watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. This game is starting to heat up a little bit as the Knights went into the third quarter down 9, found themselves down 11 here in this third period, and it's only a 4-point deficit as it looks like the Sioux Falls Christian shooting's gone a little bit cold as the Chargers just called a timeout, and we're back out of it now. And it's Chargers basketball. It is Brenna Bikey to inbound. Gets it into Swift. Back over to Bikey, tipped out of bounds by Woudstra. And Jackson Swift will inbound here for the Chargers. And that's off the back of Deckers. And it will actually be Unity Christian basketball. I didn't quite see what the call was from the official. Here's Deckers. Over to Skydeman, still some full court press. Really need to get across half court. They finally do with Deckers. Woudstra back to Deckers. Here's Skydeman near right wing. Cross court over to Woudstra. Here's Skonoven. Tries to get it in the paint, taken away, thrown away. And this is Jackson Swift. Swift over. That was Popema. Here's Swift again. Here's Bikey. Cross court over to Popema. She'll drive in the paint. Her left-handed layup too strong. Rebound Bikey. Back out to Swift. She'll take a 3 right wing. No good. And fight for the rebound. And it's a foul on the fight for it by Mariah Harrison. That's her 4th foul. And we'll go back the other way, and it'll be 2 free throws here for the Knights. It's Jaylee Woudstra at the line. First free throw, good. It's a 3-point game. Zevenbergen checks in. Jaden Hoffmeyer checks in. Courtney Hoffmeyer checks out. Second free throw from Woudstra off the mark. Still only a 3-point game, only 1 possession, approaching 4 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. See what the Chargers can do here. This is Vanderleest. Guarded well, double team, fight for it. Ball's on the floor, taken by Woudstra. And back up the court, this is Skydeman. Over to Woudstra. This is Jaden Hoffmeyer. Over to Zevenbergen. She'll take a 3. Good! Game's tied at 42 after a 3 by Caitlin Zevenbergen. And the Knights come all the way back from down 11. Under 4 to go. Double team, and it looks like Sioux Falls Christian wants a timeout, and Unity Christian fans are excited about their team fighting back in this one. We'll take a quick timeout. You are watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. You deserve EverTech's No Limits Internet and the quality local services that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bring customers like you reliable and unlimited internet, up to 50 megabits across 22 counties. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. We got ourselves a basketball game. It's tied at 42, 3:37 left here, fourth quarter. Unity Christian found themselves down 11. Now it's tied at 42. This is Maya Nelson for the Chargers. Gets it over to, that's Harrison, back over to Swift in the corner to Popema. Ball taken away. It's Unity Christian basketball off of Sioux Falls Christian. See if the Knights can take the lead here. Here's Skydeman. Gets it into Skonoven. She'll bring it across the court. Cross court over to Zevenbergen, left wing. Here's Woudstra, back to Zevenbergen. Here's Skonoven. Back over to Jaden Hoffmeyer. They're going to call a travel on Hoffmeyer. The woes the Knights had in the first half from their turnovers, their traveling calls, coming back here in the fourth quarter. Here's Nelson in the corner, and a fight for the pass into the paint, and I believe, looks like they called a foul on Unity Christian. And so that's the 10th, double bonus, and Ellie Lems will go to the line for 2, and they got Zevenbergen on that foul. That's her 4th. First free throw good as Sioux Falls Christian regains the lead. Lems has 12 here tonight. Second free throw gets it to go. It's a 44-42 lead. And that's taken away by Jackson Swift. Another turnover for the Knights. Here's Ellie Lems over to Maya Nelson. Here's a 3 from Popema, no good. And rebound Unity Christian. Here's Skonoven. Tries to get in the paint. It's taken by Deckers. Her floater, no good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds. Unity Christian basketball. .241 remaining. Unity Christian down 44-42. Skonoven to inbound. Gets it into Deckers. Back to Skonoven. She tries to work on Harrison. Back out to Deckers. She drives baseline over to Hoffmeyer. Her jumper, no good. And rebounds Sioux Falls Christian. 2:30 remaining. This is Nelson. Back over to Swift. Back to Nelson, right wing. In the paint to Lems. Fight for it. They're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow to Unity Christian. So they'll take over with another chance to take the lead here. I believe for the first time since they went up 3-0. Here's Scheidemann. And that ball taken away by Jackson Swift. And Sioux Falls Christian wants a timeout. We'll take another timeout with them. Sioux Falls Christian leads 44-42. We'll be back after this. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Since 1998, Ground Effects in Sioux Center has been Northwest Iowa's premier landscaping and garden center, providing a full variety of trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. Visit scgroundeffects.com and use their plant finder tool to help you find the perfect plant for your home. Ground Effects also has a full staff of experts and designers to turn your landscaping dreams into a reality. Come see what Ground Effects in Sioux Center has to offer.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. Sioux Falls Christian leads 44-42, 2:10 left to go here, fourth period. And it will be Sioux Falls Christian basketball after they stole the pass, after the inbound by Unity Christian, and a huge defensive possession here for the Knights. It's good to see, honestly, the Knights come back in this game. Skonoven's been held to 6, but a lot of people have stepped up and played really well here for the Knights. And here's a pass in the paint to Lems. Her layup, no good, too strong. Fight for the rebound, taken by Skonoven. She'll slow it down, bring it back up the court. And kicks it back out to Deckers, back into Skonoven. Her layup, no good. Fight for the rebound again, and it's taken by Sioux Falls Christian. Couple layups too strong on both ends. We'll see what the Chargers can do. Pass in the paint, taken by Scheidemann. Under 2 to go, approaching a minute and a half. And stoppage of play here. And it looks like, yeah, Decker's shoe came off. And Maya Nelson will check back in. Scheidemann will inbound. Gets it into Deckers. Deckers working on Nelson. Over to Woudstra, back to Deckers. Cross court over to Jaden Hoffmeyer. She'll pump fake, drive near baseline, kicks it back out to Deckers. And trapped there near the baseline. She brings it back out. Here's Woudstra. Back out to Deckers. drives near the baseline and tries to kick it out to Hoffmeyer, but it's thrown out of bounds. And Sioux Falls Christian will take over, approaching a minute to go. And it looks like Woucher had to tie her shoe quick. Another huge possession here for the Knights. Don't have to foul quite yet. Here's Nelson. Over to Popema. Pump fakes a three, drives baseline. Back out to Nelson. And here's Swift for three. That's good. Cold-blooded three from Jackson Swift. And it's her first points of the game in a huge three. Knight sees something in quick, and Jay Skyman wants a timeout. We'll take another quick timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions. Welcome back to Unity Christian High School. It's a 5-point deficit here for the Knights, and they need a quick score here out of the timeout, and they'll probably have to foul after that and just hope that Sioux Falls Christian misses at least one of the two free throws. Both teams at 10 fouls, so a foul is going to put either team at the free throw line. It's been an exciting game here. It's exactly what I thought it would be, as the Knights look to get something going here in offense and keep this game rolling here with 41.4 seconds remaining. You have to wonder who's going to get the ball here. Skydeman's had a good day. She has 11. Hot hand tonight, maybe Deckers. Devin Bergen hit a big three earlier. It'll be Skonoven to inbound. Gets it into Deckers. Over to Skonoven near right wing. Gets it near the paint to Skydeman. She'll dribble baseline, working on Nelson. Tries to get it out to Skonoven, and it goes out of bounds. And it is Sioux Falls Christian basketball. Turnovers have killed the Knights all afternoon. And they're going to have to foul here. Shot clock turned off, and there's the foul from Woudstra. Knights really needed at least something on that possession. Now it's going to be really hard to claw back. And this is Ellie Lems at the free throw line, one of their better players. Committed to Dort to play basketball as her first free throw's up and good. Lems is 14. And Lems also an all-tourney selection last year in basketball. 48-42. Made free throw, make it about 3 possessions, and that's up and good. Knight sees something quick here. Here's Skonoven. Back out to Woudstra. Kicks it back out to Skonoven. In the paint to Deckers. Almost has it taken away. Back out to Woudstra for 3. It was blocked, but they're going to get a foul on Jackson Swift. So Woudstra will shoot 3 free throws here. That's Swift's 4th. First free throw, good, from Jaylee Woudstra. Woudstra has 4 today. The 5'8" sophomore. Second free throw on the way, gets it to go. It's a 5-point game. Now 2 possessions. 13 and a half seconds left to go. Third free throw off the mark, no good. Rebound Sioux Falls Christian. They need a foul over to Nelson, and they do get the foul. 9.4 remaining. So Nelson at the line for 2. She has 5 points tonight. First free throw, too long. No matter what happens here, still 2-possession game. Glimmer of hope here for the Knights with 9 seconds to go. And here comes the second free throw. That's good. 50-44. Knights need a quick 3. Here's Skonoven. Hands it off to Skydam, her deep 3. Too short. Rebound Skonoven. Her layup's up and good. Coach Skydam wants a timeout with literally 0.5 seconds left to go. 50-46 is your score, and it looks like Sioux Falls Christian is going to go on to win this one. And what's been an exciting game, come from behind game for Unity Christian. And it looks like they put 1.2 on the scoreboard. But definitely not enough time here for the Knights. So Sioux Falls Christian made the hour-and-a-half trip down here. Came in, played pretty well. The Knights gave them a good scare there for a while, as the Chargers found themselves up 11. The Knights came all the way back to tie it, and then really a huge 3 by Jackson Swift is what eventually ultimately sealed it. And time runs out here on this one after the inbound, and Sioux Falls Christian takes this game 50-46 in this cross-state game between the Knights and the Chargers. We'll go ahead and take a little bit of a break. I'll give you a recap on this one, and then it will be the freshman boys basketball game starting after this one. So we'll take a bit of a break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration has always operated under strong values aimed at exceeding client needs. The relationship with their clients begins on the first day of contact and only ends once you are fully satisfied with the work. When you hire Notaboom Electric, you can count on them for the results you want and need. They offer a number of services for residential and commercial facilities to schools and churches. Discover the advantage of working with Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration in Orange City today. Wishing good luck to the Knights.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. I will make this recap quick because I think we got to get the freshman boys basketball stream going here. But I'll go through some stats here. I'll start with Sioux Falls Christian. Again, these stats aren't official. But Mariah Harrison had 2, Brenna Bikey had 7, Peyton Popma had 12, Katie Vanderleest had 4, Jackson Swift only had 3, but had the most important 3 of the game, which put the Chargers up 5 late in the game and what ended up sealing the game for the Chargers. Ellie Lems led the way for the Chargers with 14, the senior door commit and also an outstanding volleyball player. And Maya Nelson had 3 tonight as well, and that wraps up the scoring for the Chargers. And here's the final lines here for Unity Christian. Cassidy Deckers had 8, Caitlin Zevenbergen had 6, Jaden Hoffmeyer had 1, Gracie Skonoven had 8, Tyra Skydeman led the team in points with 11, Jaylee Woucher had 5, and Courtney Hoffmeyer had 6 here this afternoon. And Gracie Skonoven was bottled up pretty well by the Chargers, but it was still good to see some other players step up. Like I said, Cassie Deckers at 8, Zevenbergen had 6, hit a huge 3 to tie it. Then Tyra Skydeman had 11 as well. And So it was good to see that this isn't just a Gracie Schoenhoven-led team. There's a lot of talent on the floor for the Knights, and they clawed their way back and almost won this game here against Sioux Falls Christian. And I think that'll wrap it up here for the girls game. We gotta get the freshman live stream going here. So I will see you guys again. You'll hear my voice again at around 6 o'clock, probably a little bit later than that, for the boys varsity game. So for now, this is Jordan Smith signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your afternoon.